I love Ezra Taft Benson. He was a great prophet and warned us of many things concerning our government, which we are seeing come to pass this day. He talks about being an anxiety to come to the place where we speak. I think it's BYU, Provo. But anyhow, he said I had an anxiety about coming here. For 33 years, I have had the honor and privilege of coming here and enjoying the communicating with the students, speaking to them. I have I have had a fear that sooner or later place you would place me in an embarrassing situation. That an old lady was placed in a railroad conductor up in Boise, Idaho. This good woman had never had a ride on the train. Her family were all married, and she was on a little rocky farm all alone. She wanted to ride on a train before she passed on. Her children also wanted her to have that experience, and so it was decided that she would make a trip to a distant town and visit some relatives during the holidays. When the time arrived, she came down to Boise all aflutter and with excitement. The train pulled in, her excitement increased. Soon the conductor waved his hand and called, "All aboard." The old lady got on the train and took her seat. The conductor came down the aisle and picked up tickets, and she said, "Conductor, I don't know how much about the railway trains. Now I knew you were meant when you called all aboard, but I don't know what you meant by when you waved your hand." Conductor, rather short sort of fellow, said, "Oh, that was just a signal for the engineer to get the H out of here." I answered her question, but she didn't like it, and the conductor went on picking up the tickets. His conscience began to smite him, and he thought that was not a very gentlemanly way to speak to a lovely old lady. So when he finished the car, he went back and began to apologize. But she just waved her hand, and sooner or later I fear that this may happen to me if I keep coming to BYU, but I hope it isn't tonight. Get the H out of here. Oh my God. He had a serious sense of humor. Seriously, I'm very happy to be here. I appreciate the kind words of introduction by President Fox. This choice music and this lovely patriotic number by my lovely daughter. Uh, this is this has been a lovely Sabbath for me. I've treasured of conducting. I have the pleasure of conducting a 5-hour meeting with my brethren on the fourth floor of the temple this morning. 5 hour, wow. Then Sister Benson and I had the opportunity of going to a sacrament meeting in our ward, which proved to be a primary conference. I made the mistake, as they asked me to say a few words, of saying the first time I'd ever had an assignment requiring me to appear alone in the song was when I was 7 years of age and went to our ward up in Idaho. I said I sang this song with the encouragement of my mother and the wonderful primary teacher. The song was "A Mormon Boy." I said if I weren't afraid of losing the audience, I would sing it. They pledged that they would remain regardless. So I sang the song. I have had quite an experience today. Anyhow, as we go on with this. Now to come here and to look into your faces and realize something of your quality, your opportunities, your background is an inspiration. I am thankful to the Lord for the student body. Under the leadership of our great president and under the leadership of the stake presidencies and the 12 stakes that operate on this campus. 12 stakes on the BYU campus. I have uplifted by this music, and I express appreciation to those that have participated. Their talent has provided, I believe, a rather fitting background to the setting to the remarks which I hope to leave with you this evening. The song God Bless America by Irving Berlin was given to the Boy Scouts of America, dedicated to them. All the returns from the sale of the song, which have run into many thousands of dollars, are still going to the Boy Scouts of America. Having served on the board for many years, I appreciate this song. I come to you tonight with a message that has lain close to my heart for a number of years. Because of the nature of it, I have committed most of it in writing. Tonight I will speak to you about our beloved republic and in the inspired agents whom God raised up to establish the foundation upon which our liberty rests. I'll speak to you also about some mischief that has been afoot for a number of years, a mischief that intends to undermine our republic, its founders, and the church. I address you to the students and faculty of the great university, but more importantly, I speak to you as members of the household of faith, the Lord's true church, and remind you of your solemn charge to uphold, sustain, and defend the kingdom of God, and that includes the Constitution of the United States. May I imply the prophecies about America's destiny? And I think we'll put this in a couple parts. The destiny of America was divinely decreed. The events which established our great nation were foreknown to God and revealed to prophets of old. As in an act drama, the players who came on the scene were rehearsed and selected from their parts. Their talents, abilities, capabilities, and weaknesses were known before they were born. As one looks back upon what we call our history, there's a telling theme which reoccurs again and again in this drama. It is that God governs in the affair of nations, quote unquote, from a prophet of the Lord living decades ago, quote unquote, I quote, it is that God governs in the affairs of this nation. As late J. Reuben Clark Jr. said, this is the great motive which runs throughout our whole history, is God's hand in this nation. As a statement which Harold B. Lee, which was also a prophet, was found quoting this, the frequent reference to fundamentals is essential to perpetuity. In other words, to our continuing of this nation. As one who vitally concerned about the perpetuity of our nation, of our liberties, the continuation and the power of that continuation. Our freedoms and the principles laid down by the founders of this country. I refer to some fundamentals which most of you are familiar. To do so, I quote liberally about modern revelation, which I want to sense this reoccurring theme that those whom we uphold as prophets of God repeatedly emphasize. This is the propitiate the bicentennial year particularly, appropriate for the bicentennial year particularly. Unto the prophet Lehi the Lord revealed, There shall none come unto this land, save they shall be brought by the hand of the Lord. Now this is in the Book of Mormon. It's one of the Book of Mormon prophets, Lehi, one of the first ones. Wherefore this land is consecrated unto him whom he shall bring. And if it so be that they shall serve him according to the commandments which he hath given, it shall be a land of liberty unto them. Wherefore they shall never be brought down into captivity. If so, it shall be because of iniquity, for the iniquity shall abound. Cursed shall be the land for their sakes, but unto the righteous it shall be blessed forever. So we are in a battle between the righteous and wicked, between world powers and leaders, and the righteous desires of people to retain and maintain and perpetuate our God-given rights and constitutional freedoms. So we're going to stop here, and then we're going to get into other parts about this talk, okay? But I repeat, Lehi, a Book of Mormon prophet, saw this and prophesied this. And this is a covenant with God. It's a covenant with the land of liberty, which is the United States, North and South America. And it's a covenant between God and our founding fathers, God and us, our citizens, and God and the leaders of these nations in North and South America. Matter of fact, it's specifically for North America. Okay? But we need to understand that the Constitution was God-given and God-inspired, and we're going to get more into that in this second part. But this is from 2 Nephi 1, verses 6 through 7. Again, it is in the first part of 2 Nephi 1, 6 through 7. All right, we're going to end it here, and we're going to continue with part 2. It'll take a while to read this.